What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Woodshed. Today we're talking about what really is the best hero equipment in Clash of Clans. You guys heard me right. Today we're finally talking about what is the best hero ability in Clash of Clans. I'm going to let some of my Legends League replays play in the background while we talk about this. So, in order to go over what's the best, the most important thing we need to talk about is how are you attacking, right? Because realistically, there is no best hero equipment. Well, outside of one or two instances, I think for a couple particular heroes, there are things that are just no question they're the best. I'll go on those as we come across them. There's only two heroes that have a just best, and that's it. So it really depends on, one, how you're attacking. By far the most important thing. I don't think a lot of people get a lot of use if you're air attacking like I am out of, for example, the Giant Gauntlet, right? Hot take, I know, and I apologize. So we're going to go over kind of them individually, and we're going to break them down and see which one's the best for you and your army, and how you're going about everything and how you're playing. So, the Barbarian King is going to be first, and he has 5 hero equipment, right? He has the Barbarian Puppet and the Rage Vial, which you get just by default with the Barbarian King, right? That's just his default equipment. That's how he came standard with the game, and it's how he is now, right? So, you know, once you unlock him at level 7, Town Hall 7, Town Hall 8, that's just what he has. Then you go to the Earthquake Boots, which what it does is puts a small set of Earthquake spells around him, which is mostly used for most people doing a little bit extra damage and breaking down walls. Then we have the Vamp Stash. The Vamp Stash with every single hit of the Barbarian King that he hits, no matter what it is, whether it's another troop from the clan castle or skeleton trap or walls, he gains a little bit of health from it. So that's pretty cool. And then we have the Giant Gauntlet, which reduces the damage that he's taking and increases the amount of damage that he's actually doing. Now, which one of these do I think is the best? Again, it depends. But for me personally, it is the Vamp Stash, which I think there's little to no debate about, right? As your Barbarian King hits other things, he gets health back, which just makes him that much tankier, makes him survive that much longer. I think there's little to no debate about that one specifically. Where there is a debate is with my second one. I use the Earthquake Boots. You guys will see my army spread right here, and I don't have anything to break walls. That's how my Barbarian King gets into a base, is with some Earthquake Boots. I can pull out a Giant Gauntlet and waste half of it just trying to get my king into the gore of a base, rather than just using my Earthquake Boots. So I think Earthquake Boots are a little better for how I personally play the game. Now, 99% of people will tell you that the Giant Gauntlet is the way to go, and you'd be dumb not to run it. The Giant Gauntlet is very, very good, and there is nothing wrong with using it. I just can't make it work, and I've tried. I can't get it. I don't know what it is, right? So that's on me. A lot of people will tell you the Giant Gauntlet's it. Personally, I think anything that's not the Rage Puppet or the Rage Vial and the Barbarian Puppet, I think anything else is it. And I'm just being genuinely honest. Next, we go down to the Archer Queen, and she has the Archer Puppet and the Invisibility Vial, which are her two just base default ones, kind of like the Barbarian King. Spawns some extra archers and makes her invisible, lets her regain a whole bunch of health. There's the Giant Arrow, which it gives her a long shot arrow that just gets to fire down basically the entire length of the map, going through and dealing damage, piercing damage. There's a Healer Puppet, which when you pop, it spawns a handful of healers to follow her around. And there's the Frozen Arrow, which slows down things as it gets hit with that arrow. Huge. This is one of the only ones that I will tell you for certain has a best use, no question about it. The best hero equipment for the Archer Queen is the Frozen Arrow. It was something that was out during a limited time event that you were able to get with a certain type of medals. I don't remember which event it was exactly, so I do apologize. Hopefully it'll go in the shop for some gems or some money sometime soon, because I would genuinely spend my money on this. I made sure that every single one of my accounts got the Frozen Arrow because I knew it was going to be better than just about everything else, right? Frozen Arrow by far the best. The rest of them are really kind of mediocre, so kind of play with them and see what you like the most. I use the Healer Puppet and I actually pop her ability relatively quickly, because the only thing her ability does when I pop is the Healer Puppet. So what it's doing, giving her a little bit more health. I think all of them kind of do that. But even if it doesn't, it's just spawn a few healers that are going to follow her around, and I always spawn her with my Barbarian King, so it's following my... Sometimes they'll split my Barbarian King, who's taking the run of the damage. Then I have a couple of healers following him around. He tanks even more for my Queen with that Frozen Arrow. making both their lives last a lot longer, and I get a ton more value out of them. And again, little to no debate about that, for me, at least. But Frozen Arrow, you have to use. The other four, toss up, play with them, see which ones you like the most, okay? On to the Warden abilities. We have the Eternal Tome, and we have the Life Gem, the two base things that come with the Grand Warden. Eternal Tome, pretty simple, makes everything invincible in that radius. Super nice, right? We have the Life Gem, which is going to kind of increase the overall health of everything in that radius as well. Super nice thing to have as well. Then we have the Rage Gem. Basically a very small and not as strong rage spell, the entire radius of the Grand Warden's, his entire radius, right? His radius of effect. Huge. Love that one. Healing Tome. Healing Tome is like the Eternal Tome, except it heals whatever's in that radius. Not making it invincible, but has a heal spell. Kind of like the Rage Gem, it's a minor healing thing. And then they have the new one, which is the Fireball. I think anything but the Fireball is really useful, and I know the Fireball is going to have its moments, but I think it's overplayed. I think for a support troop, something that does a mass AoE damage thing, that has to follow a certain troops, which again for me is dragons, right? It's Skybird, right? It's dragons, it's balloons, and it's dragon riders. So I don't need that help for them. I need them to have, for example, the Rage Gem and the Eternal Tome. That invincibility plus that rage, that extra speed and damage, making them just fly through a base. That, by far, to me, is the easiest and the best one. So it's Rage Gem and Eternal Tome for me. But truthfully, the Life Gem and Healing Gem, and the Healing Tome, they're not bad by any means. You should 100% try those out. See which one of those four works really well for you. You might even get the Fireball to work. Hell, shit. I can't. But again, you guys might be better players than I am. Good luck. Play with that a little bit yourself again with your army comp and see how that works. Now we are down to the last hero, and possibly my favorite, the Royal Champion at this point. So the Royal Champion has 4. She very recently got 3 and 4. She has the Royal Gem. She has the Seeking Shield. Those two are her defaults. The increased health and damage for a good period, or the giant jump in health regain. And the Royal Gem and the Seeking Shield is what goes through and bounces off of a couple of different buildings, causing a lot of damage. Those two are the two defaults, and then we have the Hog Rider puppet, which is like the other two puppets, like from the Archer Queen and the Barbarian King, where it spawns a handful of Hog Riders. And then we have the Haste Vial, which does the same thing as the Rage Gem, but instead of Rage, it's just speeding her up. I think this one also is the second clear favorite to me, where I think the Hog Rider puppet and the Haste Vial are it, hands down. I think there's little to no contest about it. I do think the Hog Rider puppet, paired with the Royal Champion, with the Hog Rider puppet, by the way, she goes invisible for a brief time, which actually allows her to not be targeted. You can even see it right here, right? Where I'm attacking a double cannon, and paired with the Spirit Fox, right, she gets an extra second of reprieve, she gets to do even more damage. She even took out a hero by herself, which the Royal Champion is not known for doing. I think that's by far the best combo, especially if you end up sending her alone. I do think it is Rage Vial and the Hog Rider puppet. I think there's little to no debate about that, and I don't even have the Hog Rider puppet and Haste Vial leveled up all the way, just to be completely honest with you guys. They're both level 12-ish on my main account, which I know isn't exactly low, but definitely isn't very high. Those are by far the best two. So the only two that you have, that I would say that you must use if you have them, is the Hog Rider puppet and the Haste Vial, and the Frozen Arrow. So there's 3 hero equipments in total that I say are by hands down the best. Little to no debate on scenario or whatever. Everything else is so subject to how you're attacking and your style of play, right? So, you know, what I tell you guys of what I like the Eternal Tome and the Rage Gem, might not work for you guys, right? And that's totally okay. Just because it's how I play doesn't mean that's how the world works. Doesn't mean it's everything. Everything I say isn't the end-all be-all, right? So go out there, play with it a little bit. Try and make the Giant Gauntlet work, because everybody's telling me it's so overpowered. I just can't make it work. So do me a favor, go play with the Giant Gauntlet. Go play with the Healer Puppet and the Giant Arrow. Go play with the Healing Tome. And do not, I repeat, do not play with the Fireball. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Let me know what your guys' favorite hero equipment is down below. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks, everybody.